Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to a great day of learning. We are your teachers. I am Shakita Jackson.
And I'm Dr. Wellbody. We are so glad to be with you today for tons of fun, reading, and knowledge.
Dr. Welbody is a pediatrician that takes care of sick children and knows lots of ways to help children stay well so that they won't get sick too often. She's going to help you understand your bodies.
Yes, I am a pediatrician and I am so excited to share with you about how our bodies work.
We have a great learning goal for today. We're going to learn about our bodies. Our focus standards today are RI.1.3, RI.1.7, and W.1.8.
That's right. We will learn about germs and diseases in our bodies and discuss the importance of vaccination in preventing disease.
That's right. So before we get started, we're going to complete a KWL chart. So I want you all to take a look at our chart. All right, so the K is going to stand for what you already know about germs and vaccines. The W will stand for what you wonder about germs and vaccines. And the L, after we're done reading the story, it is going to stand for what you have learned about germs and vaccines.
All right, so let's start with what we may already know about our germs and vaccines. Boys and girls, can you tell us something you already know about germs? Great job. I heard one friend say that germs are everywhere. Let me add that to our chart.
All right. I heard another friend say germs can make you sick. I will add that to our chart. All right, boys and girls, what else? Oh, yeah. Vaccines are used to protect our bodies. Great job, boys and girls.
Great job.
So now, what do you wonder about germs and vaccines?
I heard somebody say that they wonder if we can see germs.
Yes. So can we see germs? What else do you wonder? What else?
Ooh, yes. I heard somebody say they wonder who created vaccines.
That's a great question. That is a great question. So now we have what we know and what we wonder. So we are going to move on to our next section.
Yes, thank you so much for helping us create the beginning part of our KWL chart with what we already know.
All right, so before we get started with our read aloud, I'm going to review some important words that you will hear in our story. So I want you all to take a look at our anchor chart. Our first word is disease. So when I say what word, you all are going to tell me the word. So our word is diseases. What word? Yes, diseases. Diseases are illnesses. All right, here is a picture of some different diseases. Now, Dr. Welbody, can you give us a sentence using the word diseases?
Of course I can. Scientists work hard to cure the diseases that make people sick.
All right, great sentence. Our next word is germs. What word? Yes, germs. Germs are bacteria and viruses that are harmful. Here is a picture of how germs can spread everywhere. Oh my. Dr. Welbody, can you give us a sentence using the word germs?
Yes. Washing your hands before meals helps you to wash away germs.
Thank you, Dr. Welbody. Our next word is immunities. What word? Immunities. Immunities are resistances or defenses against diseases. Here is a picture of someone's body fighting against different diseases that may want to attack their body. Dr. Wellbody, can you give us a sentence?
Yes. Getting vaccinations helps our body to build immunities.
That's right. All right. Our next word is pasteurization. What's the word? Pasteurization. Pasteurization is the process of heating and cooling something to kill the bacteria in it. All right, so here is a picture of milk pasteurization. Dr. Wellbody, can you share a sentence?
Absolutely. Before you can buy milk or cheese in the supermarket, it must go through a process of pasteurization.
All right, thank you for that sentence. Our final word is vaccines. What's the word? Yes, vaccines. Vaccines are dead or weak forms of a disease that allow the body to defend itself from the disease. Here is a picture of the latest vaccine that is available for COVID-19. Dr. Welbody, can you share a sentence?
Sure. Vaccines have helped to stop the spread of many diseases around the world.
Thank you, Dr. Welbody. So let's quickly review our vocabulary words. I will say the word, and I want you to repeat them after me. So let's look back at our anchor charts. Diseases, germs, immunities, pasteurization, vaccines. Great job, boys and girls. Now, are you ready for the read aloud? All right, Dr. Welbody, take it away.
Absolutely. All right, I brought along my images once again today, and we're going to learn about some of my favorite heroes and how vaccinations and vaccines work to help prevent or stop diseases. Did you know that doctors have heroes? I'm going to tell you about two of my heroes, both that were brave germ fighters. Their names are Edward Jenner and Louis Pasteur. Jenner was a doctor. Pasteur was a scientist. Both lived long ago. Their work made the world a safer place for all of us. Take a look at this picture. What do you see in this picture? Germs are all around us. These tiny living things are so small that you can see them only by looking through a special type of instrument called a microscope. But even though you cannot see them, germs are everywhere. They're in the air we breathe, in the water we drink, in the food we eat, and on our skin. Most of the time, germs do not hurt us. Some germs even help us, like the ones in our intestines that kill off harmful germs and help us to digest our food. What system in the body includes the intestines? You're right, the digestive system. But other germs can make us sick. They get into our bodies in different ways. Some creep in through insect bites or cuts in our skin, and others float in when somebody sneezes nearby. Still, others come from food that is poorly cleaned or even undercooked. We have natural immunities in our bodies. That means our bodies have ways of fighting off germs on their own. But sometimes that is not enough. That is why doctors and scientists are always working to find new ways to fight sickness, also called diseases. One very important way that they fight diseases is by giving people medicines called vaccines. Vaccines give you immunity. That means they keep bad germs from harming you in the first place before you even get sick. Doctors give vaccines by vaccinating people. That usually means giving a child or a grown-up a shot, like in the picture. Many people don't like getting shots because the needle can sting a little bit. Sometimes they might even cry. But vaccinations give us immunity too, or they help protect us from very terrible and harmful diseases like measles, mumps, flu, smallpox, and polio. Diseases that can make people very sick or even cause them to die. This is a picture of what a hospital looked like a long time ago. Long ago, people did not know about germs. They did not understand what made people sick. They did not know how important it is to wash our hands, to eat clean food, or even to drink clean water. They did not know how to protect themselves from getting bad germs in their bodies. Sometimes, thousands of people at a time would die from a disease as germs spread quickly from one person to another. About 200 years ago, an English doctor discovered something amazing. He discovered a way to keep people from getting one of the most terrible diseases in the world, a disease called smallpox. Edward Jenner, one of my heroes, invented the first vaccine. Dr. Jenner was living in a country village in England. There were many farms all around, like the one in the picture. He knew what the farmers in his village knew, that people who milked cows sometimes got a disease called cowpox. This disease made blisters on their hands, but it was not a serious disease. People got over it quickly. Dr. Jenner also noticed that people who got cowpox almost never came down with smallpox, a much worse disease that often killed people or left horrible scars on their skin. He thought that cowpox might give people protection from getting smallpox. After a lot of thinking and studying, Dr. Jenner decided to test his idea. He decided to give a healthy boy a small amount of the cowpox germs. The boy got sick with cowpox, just as Dr. Jenner thought he would. Then, after the boy got better, Jenner gave the boy a small amount of the smallpox germs. Just as Jenner hoped, the boy did not get smallpox. Please note that Dr. Jenner's practices would not be used today. Doctors would not intentionally give healthy people germs, even if it was to test a new way of preventing disease. Dr. Edward Jenner, this brave germ fighter, created the first vaccine in the whole world. From then on, people were vaccinated with cowpox so that they would have immunity to smallpox later on. Many years later, because of the smallpox vaccine was being used all around the world, smallpox disappeared. But Dr. Jenner did not understand exactly how the vaccination had worked. It was up to other doctors and scientists to find out. Another germ fighter and another one of my heroes is Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur was born in France a year after Dr. Jenner died. As a boy, he worked very hard in school and was very curious, always asking a lot of questions. When he grew up, he became a science professor, teaching at a university. He was also a medical researcher, someone who tries to find out what causes diseases and how they can be cured. Using a microscope, Pasteur saw that liquids, like milk and fruit juice, contain tiny living things called germs. Some of these germs cause the milk or juice to spoil or to go bad. Pasteur discovered that he could kill the harmful germs by heating the liquid to a high temperature. Heating liquids this way helped to get rid of germs, became known as pasteurization. We gave the name pasteurization based on the fact that Louis Pasteur was the one who founded it. Today, because of Pasteur's discovery, the milk we drink, as well as some other foods, are pasteurized to make them safe before we buy them. Just as important, Pasteur's work on pasteurization convinced other doctors and scientists that germs are real and may cause disease. People began to realize how important it is to keep harmful germs out of our food and water. Dr. Pasteur helped people in other ways. Listen to find out how he helped a young boy who became sick with another disease. But Pasteur did not stop there. He continued Jenner's work with vaccines, working to discover how to prevent many more diseases. One of the vaccines he developed fought rabies, a very dangerous disease that often kills humans. Pasteur had been working on the rabies vaccine for quite a while when a 9-year-old boy was badly bitten by a dog. The dog was carrying rabies, and Dr. Pasteur thought that his new vaccine would help the boy. Dr. Pasteur's vaccine worked, and he was hailed as a hero. He led the way for other scientists to make vaccines for many other diseases. Today, once you are vaccinated against a disease, you become immune to it and no longer have to be afraid of catching it. There are still diseases like malaria and cancer for which scientists have not yet found the right vaccine, but they are working hard at it. New vaccines will be discovered by other germ fighters. If you study medicine or science and become a researcher, that germ fighter could even be you. Let's do a little rhyme to close us out. So, if you are a scientist, you'll discover something new. And you could be a germ fighter who is a hero too.
Oh my, thank you so much, Dr. Wellbody. You shared some valuable information about germs and vaccines. Friends, let's see what you have learned from the story. I have a few questions I would like to ask you. What are germs? Yes, germs are tiny things found everywhere in our air, water, food, just everywhere.
Great job. Now I have a question. Some germs are good, but others make you sick. How do they get into our bodies?
That's a great question. I heard someone say through cuts in your skin and insect bites.
Great. I also heard someone say through unclean or undercooked food and through the air, even when someone sneezes or coughs.
You're right, boys and girls. You were really paying attention. Now, next question. Healthy bodies are able to fight many germs on their own because of natural immunities. What is another way to give the body immunities to fight germs? Yes, vaccines or vaccinations. Great job.
Finally, how is the process of pasteurization important to your life? Yep. You're right. It helps to kill germs in milk and juices, making them safer to drink and helping to prevent diseases.
All right, boys and girls, great job answering those questions. So what we're going to do, we're going to take another look at our KWL chart. Remember, the row next to the K were the things we already knew about germs and vaccines. The row next to the W were things you all were wondering about our bodies. All right.
And now I would like to hear our friends share what they have learned. We're going to list those things under the L in our KWL chart. So friends, what is something that you have learned about germs and vaccines?
All right, and we're going to place that on our chart. I heard one friend say that some germs are good for your body. So I'm going to add that to our chart.
Great. I heard that someone said they learned that Edward Jenner was the first to create a vaccine. Let me add that to our chart.
Okay.
And I'm going to put that one actually up here.
Okay. You all keep them coming. We hear you. Yes. Someone said germs can be seen with a microscope. I remember Dr. Wellbody reading that in the story. What else? What are some other things you all learned? Yes. Dr. Jenner invented the vaccine for smallpox. I'm going to add that to our chart.
Yes.
All right. Anything else? I heard one friend say Pasteur invented the rabies vaccination.
Ooh, you're right. And that actually makes me think of one last thing I want us to do, just really quick.
Okay.
I told you all about two of my heroes, Edward Jenner and Louis Pasteur. I want us to see if we can compare and contrast them. So let's talk about their similarities and differences. How are Edward Jenner and Louis Pasteur similar or the same?
I heard someone say they were both germ fighters. That's great. What else? Yes. Another person said they created vaccines.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And that last one? Yep.
You're right. Someone else said they saved people's lives.
You're right. Now let's think about how are they different?
That's right. Yes, Jenner was a doctor and Pasteur was a scientist. Awesome job, boys and girls.
Great job.
All right, y'all. I have had so much fun learning today. Friends, we hope you've enjoyed learning all about germs and vaccines and Dr. Wellbody's heroes. Also, Dr. Wellbody, once again, we thank you so much for coming out and sharing so much valuable information with us today. We're looking forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, thank you again for having me and for being so great. Be sure to share something that you learned today with someone in your home.
All rights and credits for today's lesson belong to Core Knowledge Language Arts. We would like to thank them for publicly sharing these valuable resources. The views and opinions expressed in this lesson are those of the Core Knowledge authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Mississippi Department of Education. Thank you for joining us today, boys and girls. We will see you all next time.